Hey, hey, hey! How are we all doing? Welcome back to another stream on another day. Thank you for joining us. Of course, it is Wednesday. So for you people that join us every week, you know what that means. It means we are joined by our very good friend, Save with Crypto. How are you doing, mate?
All right. Sorry, I got my mouth full. I'm just trying to scoff it.
Tofu?
No, I'm actually having... No, I made some salad, but it's kind of like, it's quite cool actually. It's like them little miniature potatoes. So I boil them up a little bit, let them go cold. Bit of asparagus cooked as well. And then red onions, radishes, and what else? And some Parmigiano cheese chopped up.
Yeah.
With sort of balsamic vinegar and olive oil dressing.
Ooh.
Salt and pepper, and I make a load of it, stick it in the fridge, and then have that for like 5 days of lunch. You know, so yeah, I love it. I'm addicted to it.
Very nice.
Balsamic tanginess. Yeah.
Very nice, mate.
What would you
have you been on the tofu? recently.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm still working my way through the haul I got from
Yeah.
Aldi the other week when I cleared them out.
Yeah, very nice.
What do you have for lunch?
I went round to the corner. There's a nice little cafe round the corner, so I went out today.
Wow.
I had a peri peri chicken ciabatta,
Very nice.
and I had a little bowl of soup on the side as well, and it was exceptionally nice. Very, very nice. So yeah, that's
Excellent.
where I went today. Don't normally go out in the week, but my brother said, "Do you wanna go for some dinner?" So I thought, well, why not? Why not? And yeah, so
Excellent.
went
Right.
out for dinner, which is a nice change. We've got Pappy in the chat saying, "Let's make some money." He's building a long position on Solana. Interesting. Afternoon, Wizzo. How we doing? I'm good, mate. Hope you're good. What we aping into today? No doubt Wiz has got some good stock picks. I think he put some in the Discord. Some interesting ones yesterday for you fine people that are in there. Afternoon, Loki. Dunder Thunder. Nick. Gary. Our legendary drummer. And we've got Craig saying, "Hey, Saver Crypto, just finished watching your last video. Because of it, I'm here now." Well, thank you very much for joining, Craig. Do make sure you smash the like button, and that extends to everyone watching. Please do drop us a like, and if you are new here, please do subscribe. He says, "Looking forward to see what has to be said about XTP and the future of this great company, Tap Global." So it sounds like Craig is an XTP bull.
Yeah.
And I'll be interested to hear, obviously, what you've got to say about it, mate, on this stream.
Sure, yeah.
That'll be very interesting. Of course, if you do want to find out more about that, you can go and find Save with Crypto on YouTube, type in his name, as you would suggest, Save with Crypto, and you will be able to find not only his video from today, but obviously the daily uploads that he does every single day. So go and check him out as well while you have the time. But yeah, we are currently around, we fell off a little bit, haven't we? We got up just above 106,000 earlier this morning, and we fell off back down towards 105k. So a bit of a strong sell off there. I don't know if that's coming in. No, so nothing going on in the S&P, so that's not been driven from there. The S&P is now banging its head alongside just that underside of $6,000 as it was before it fell off. So if we go and have a look on the hourly, you can see this was at the end of May. The S&P approached the same level, and yeah, we are around that figure now. Now, for those of you obviously watching the streams, we discussed breaking this region here, which we did. We even come back for a back test as well, so fortunate to get a back test, and then we ripped up as fast as we thought we would on this thin move here, retraced it fully, and we're back towards that level. So for anyone that took that breakout play, well done. Hopefully you made some nice bit of cash on that. If you didn't, then obviously take note of what's going on the streams, and of course get Stonksy, because we did go green on the Stonksy as well. We went green, then into the red for the pullback, and then back green to catch the pump upwards. But yeah, this is key daily SR here, and then obviously we've got this big juicy $6,000 round number as well, which in my opinion just separates the road towards all-time high. I think if we break above this $6,000 region, we are more than likely minimal resistance towards an all-time high. So we'll see if that happens or not. Obviously, it'd be crazy if it did, given the drop-off that we had in March and the start of April. But yeah, that's where we are on the stock market. We'll go and have a look at the Mag 7, obviously, a bit later on before open. But yeah, what have you been up to since you was last on, mate?
Okay, so I had those big sort of Bitcoin positions, which I eventually closed. I didn't close them as high as I wanted to. The price started coming back a bit, so I was like really in profit at one point, and then it pulled back a bit, and I just thought I'll just bail out and stop, and then look for a new opportunity. I have tried doing a few little shorts to try and, to basically catch it in case the price does absolutely completely poop the bed, but I can't quite see it at the moment. It doesn't seem to want to. I'm really confused about Bitcoin now. I don't know if it's going to go up or down. It's going to do one or the other, definitely. But I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to drop like I think it should do. I think it should drop down to about 104 or something, like real quick, and it doesn't seem to want to. Nevertheless, I want to be on the sidelines waiting for that. So that's what I'm doing with Bitcoin stuff. So at the moment, I'm not particularly in a position. I am in a little little one that's underwater at the moment. But
Yeah.
that's so embarrassing. I don't want to talk about it. But,
Yeah. Well, we don't have to, but yeah, you are now obviously adopting that lion pouncing method, aren't you? You're now the lion waiting to pounce on.
well, yeah. I mean,
On
I,
the,
I, was, I was talking to my mate Mr. Delta the other day, and
Oh yeah.
You know, he's quite good at, you know, snagging the odd little good trade, and then he's really good at getting a really bad one as well, and then ended up underwater for like weeks, you know. And I was thinking, like, you know, if he could just not do the crap trades and just do the good ones, he'd be minted, you know. But
Yeah.
so I think the problem is like, and I think he would admit it too, and I think everyone's guilty of this, it really is the FOMO trades when you want to be in a trade and you know damn well you shouldn't be, you know, you should be waiting, and you're just impatient and you want to be in a trade. And if you could cut those ones out of your life, I think everyone would be a lot better off. Well, who's trading anyway. So
Yeah.
So that is the kind of what do you call it, the kind of method I'm trying to adopt. And then meanwhile, I'm just sort of keeping myself busy with other things. Like yesterday, I was looking at Tesla, and it had a little bit of a dump, and I was thinking like that shouldn't really be dumping right now. And I bought some Tesla stock, and hung on to it for like 2 hours, sold it. You know, it was only like a 1.5% profit, but because I was playing with about 12 grand, I made like 280 quid, you know. So
very nice, yeah.
So that was, you know, to me, that okay, that's a good day's work, you know. If I can do, you know, 100, 200 quid a day, it's like, it's all right, isn't it? You know, it's almost like having a real job.
Yeah, almost. Apart from the fact you just sat there clicking buttons.
Oh yeah. Well, that's all I ever used to do in my real job anyway. So, you know, but I had to have people telling me what to do. So, you know, I haven't got that anymore. Yeah, the commute's better though. Really, you just walk across the room.
Yeah, very nice, mate.
I don't have to get on a train and go to London. You know.
Yeah. We have, let's just cover this. So we've got 24 viewers and 5 likes. Big thank you to everyone that's joined today. However, please do scroll down and hit that like button. We can definitely do better than that. Let's get them likes up to at least 15 or more in the next couple of minutes. So please do take a second, scroll down, hit the like button. And of course, if you are new here, do subscribe so you never miss a thing. Now, obviously, you covered about looking maybe at 104. I am eagerly in anticipation of getting what we would probably consider like a proper pullback then. Right. If we got down around kind of like the 102, maybe down to 100 region.
Yeah, definitely.
So kind of like anywhere in this kind of, if we get rid of this lower box, hang on. So if we get anywhere kind of around there in this box, I think that would be then considered, you know, a decent pullback then. And obviously would flush a nice amount of leverage out of the market. And then we'd be close to around 10% pullback then, which then may see, you know, enough of a pullback to then go back towards the highs. But, you know, we could still do that from here. But me personally, I am thinking like, you know, would make sense to maybe come down, and obviously we'd flush this build up that we've had here, because now we are in kind of, suppose what you could say is like a rising channel or something, couldn't you?
Where's
like
that?
We're in like a bit of a channel.
Oh,
here, yeah.
A little bit at the end, yeah.
Yeah, like this bit here. In a bit of a channel. So then, you know, if we come down, you'd obviously take all this out, but then, you know, if we cleared this, then I think that would be potentially a good place to maybe look for a bounce back towards the highs then. But, you know, we'll see if/when it happens. But yeah, I'm definitely with you. I'm kind of leaning towards the side of, we need to see a bit more of a flush, I think, however and whenever that comes.
Yeah. The only thing that's stopping me thinking that is the fact that everyone's thinking that. You know,
yeah. I mean,
everyone is expecting a pullback. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it could, you know, it could just do what it's done the whole time, couldn't it, and just rip up without giving a proper pullback. I mean, what it's dipped so far has been kind of around what it's done on this whole journey up. where we've had consolidation and then obviously some dip in there, but it only being like a handful. Afternoon, Gonksy, how we doing to you, my good friend? Discipline. Thunder said, if it holds, it's good. John Brown, how are you doing, mate? Great to see you. And we have got BPM Mega saying, morning, shorted Bitcoin yesterday at 106,800, but my best play was shorting syrup. Haven't taken profits on the Bitcoin yet, though. Well, mate, you are. I've got some decent bit of room, haven't you? So you've been short from 106,800. So round about obviously the top of the move yesterday. So you've got a decent bit of room, haven't you, to kind of let that run if you wish, or however you want to play it. But yeah, we've sold off since then, and looking like, yeah, I mean, however you want to draw this channel, you know, you could potentially draw it there and say maybe Bitcoin fell out at this point, or if you want to keep it all within the channel. But yeah, we are maybe falling out of this channel or in the process of. But yeah, still, don't have any red on the 5 minute or 6 minute yet. Let's check ETH. Do we have anything on ETH? So ETH is actually still green at the moment. And then the 6 minute is blank. So yeah, everything's still within consolidation. ETH is still in this range. Doesn't it? It feels like not that long ago since ETH had that mega pump, but it's actually been nearly a month now, which is a bit astounding, isn't it?
Yeah, I must admit, Ethereum is confusing me a little bit at the moment, because, like, to me, it looks like it wants to go. You know, it wants to go up.
Yeah.
Which kind of is opposite of what I think for Bitcoin. And like, I know, in no normal world, Ethereum goes up and Bitcoin goes down. I mean, you know, they might not do the same thing, but they'll vaguely follow each other, won't they? So
yeah,
it's just confusing me even more, really. What do you think Ethereum's going to do?
I mean, my head kind of says another push upwards.
Yeah,
that's what my head says. So my head says, you know, it would make sense to, at least, even if it's not going to have some sort of mega rally, into here would make sense. So obviously come and take out this liquidity zone here.
Yeah.
And then from there, you know, it's not really that much of an effort to go to kind of 3-3.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not at an all-time high since the halving, you know.
No, I mean, I'll be a bit contrarian. I don't think it will.
Whatever have an all-time high.
I don't think it will. I mean, my personal opinion is it won't this cycle.
Oh, right, okay.
I could be massively wrong there, but I think, you know, even if it pushed to 4K, I think at that point you are, you know, maybe exhausting. And that would be maybe just a liquidity grab or something. I don't know. I mean, I suppose it depends on what side of the fence you're on, doesn't it? On how high you think Bitcoin could go. You know, if we saw Bitcoin go to 200K, you would imagine it would be incredibly hard for ETH not to break its all-time high. Seems like it would definitely be more of a task for it to not do it than actually do it. So yeah, I don't know. I think it could still get a decent pump, but, you know, will it go to 5K? I think the all-time high is around 4.8 something, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, could be completely wrong.
We've
got Bobby. How we doing? Sorry you're late. You're excused, mate. Do not worry about it. Cow to flip ETH, says Wiz. And you love cow. And we've got KK saying, is XTP likely to gain significant adoption by 2025? And how could that impact its value?
Oh, XTP.
XTP, yeah.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought it said FTP. Is XTP likely to go? I can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, we may. You know what? We may as well move on to that with a couple people asking. Yeah, I suppose we'll move on to whatever it is you'd like to discuss about XTP and TAM.
Yeah, well, I can do. Hang on, let me just get a. You see, the problem we got here though is, right. For those who don't know, and I'm sure most of you do know, let me just put my screen up.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a weird exchange that I don't use and I don't intend to use. Is that all right?
Yeah.
because it's just the problem is it's nowhere else, you know.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Right, so
can you actually still pull it up on TradingView, or can you not even pull it up there? No.
Well, you can, but it's all you've got is the Uniswap charts that are what do you call it? They're
yeah.
They're like XTP versus BNB, which to be honest means nothing to me, you know.
Yeah.
So the thing was, right, is when we first started playing around with XTP, which for anybody who follows that Martini guy, was around about the end of 2022 and the start of 2023. And you know, I mean, the story goes it was something that TMG was talking about a lot, and you know, he ended up getting a bit of shit for it because, you know, he said that the token price was going to go really high, and it went really high for a little bit, and then it went down like a lot, you know. So it meant that a lot of people were like bag holding and stuff, myself included. And at the time, it was on an exchange called, let's get this right, the exchange was called Bittrex, and Bittrex had a XTP. What was it now? XTP BTC pair, right? And that was the one that everyone was trading on, sort of thing. And it was one of those things where the price initially, when TMG started talking about it, it was about 1 or 2 sats. And in fact, even when he made his first video, it was only up to about 6 or 7 sats. It was like super cheap, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So what a lot of people were doing, including myself, was just sort of like, you know, buying it at 5 sats and selling it at 12, wait until it drops down to about 7, buying it again, and then selling it again when it got around to being about 12, you know. And
yeah.
I managed to get, by doing that, I managed to get like a lot of it together. I got like, you know, 12 million XTP, which cost me quite a bit of money, but at the same time it was a lot, you know. It puts me in the top 100 XTP holders, I believe, which is crazy. And then the price did pump, and it pumped quite a lot. And you know, my bag was worth about 170 grand. And oh god, I wish I'd sold it. I really do. So I watched it go down from 170 grand to well, I think last week it was worth about 3, which was painful, you know. And I think I learned a lot of lessons in that time. And basically, don't bag altcoins, you know. And if the price, well, something Block Pro says, if you look at your account and you think, shit, that's a load of money, take it. You know, don't just sit back and say that's a load of money, take it, you know.
Yeah.
And make sure you've got it. So I learned that back in 2023. Anyway, so that was on the exchange called Bittrex. Now Bittrex went bust in December 2023, and the problem is the actual Tap app. Sorry, I should have said this, but Tap is it's a fintech app. It's, you know, some kind of I think it's a bit like what Robinhood is in America, where you've got like fiat and crypto on an app, and you've got a MasterCard you can use as well, like a debit card, and yeah, that's what it is basically. Now the way the exchanges were done on the actual Tap app was using the Bittrex platform. So the Bittrex platform was built into their app, you see. So it meant that when Bittrex went, there wasn't an exchange that did the Bitcoin pair.
Mm-hmm.
Consequently, the price of it went really downhill, and that was when everyone started complaining like mad, you know. Now this exchange I've got here on the screen is Probit one. This actually has been an XTP exchange since August 2020. So for 5 years it's actually been on here, but no one ever used this because the liquidity is rubbish. Nobody knows the exchange, and well, I don't know. I've not even tried to use it, but you know, it doesn't look very nice, you know, and it's not. I would feel really worried about putting my money on an exchange that I don't know anything about, you know. Anyway, so that's what Probit is. But so Probit had always been there, but Tap didn't. Back in December 2023, they didn't change to integrating Probit. They found another exchange which is called what was it called?
Bitfinex. Bitfinex was it?
Bitfinex, yeah.
Bitfinex.
No, Bitfinex was okay. It didn't have the XTP BTC pair. It was only XTP USDT. Anyway, so during that time, the app kind of got worse in the way that they stopped doing things with the UK, and they used to have this thing where you could stake XTP to get a certain level of card tier, and they stopped that in the UK. They reintroduced that last year, but they made it so it wasn't staking XTP; it was actually paying, not even staking, paying UK pounds, and it meant you had to pay to have the card.
Yeah,
and I did some sums on it. It just really wasn't worth it. It would, you'd have to be spending something like 50 grand a year on the card to break even before you start earning any cash back. So that was like ridiculous. That was just never ever going to happen. That couldn't compete with anything. Meanwhile, they tried to launch in the US, where it is sort of launched, but they can't do anything. They can't exchange anything. I don't think they've got cards. They can't do anything with XTP. So that needs sorting out, And then, so the only place it worked was the EU, right? So that's not even the EEA. It's one of those, and it's the one that doesn't include everywhere, But in European countries, you could stake XTP to get the higher card tiers, and then when you spent on the card, you get cash back in XTP. So that was working fine for them. The problem was, because TMG had promoted it so much in early 2023, the most of the XTP holders, and this is according to TAP themselves, this is what the boss Arson said, most of the XTP holders are actually in the UK. So having a functioning product in the UK is really, really important. And they didn't really have it because of this stupid thing where you had to pay money to have the card. I mean, I can't imagine anybody actually did that. If they did it, they did it by mistake because they hadn't researched it properly. However, last year, towards the end of last year, they reintroduced the XTP staking. So now you can stake XTP to get the card tiers, right?
Do you want to? Sorry to interrupt, mate. Do you want to just pull up the XTP chart on screen while we're discussing it?
That's a bloody good idea, isn't it? I thought I had, but
just so people can actually see it.
All right.
Yeah, there we go.
I thought you were going to tell me to shut up because you were bored.
No, go on. No, carry on.
No, I just thought it's probably worth explaining a bit of the history.
Yeah, no, go on, carry on. Yeah.
For those who can I make this bigger?
There's a zoom in button. I can't see one.
It's normally like a full screen, I think.
Oh well.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'll zoom out as far as I can. I mean, you can see the price of this thing has been, I forgot now. I mean, this is even just the 5 years it's been on air, but it is. Look, it's actually insane. It's actually, it has been as high. This is in USDT, so it's been as high as about 50 cents. And at the moment, it's 0.000971. and it's like, I mean, normally you would just assume this is completely dead, wouldn't you? And anyway, so that's the state of the token. The token price is just absolutely horrendous, and I'm bag holding this thing, like 12 million of these bloody things. Anyway, so what we're saying was it's really important that the UK are able to use it and actually want to use it, and I didn't, and I didn't for one really big reason, actually. Bearing in mind, I had the XTP, which meant I could stake, and get the higher tier. Okay, that means I could get cash back. However, they had a fee for loading into the account. So if you wanted to pay, in fact, I can show you this. Hang on, because what I did, they've got the fee schedule on the app, but it's like it links to a PDF on the app, and it's really, really, really tiny, and you can't hardly see it. So what I did some screenshots of it, put them on my website. I'm just trying to find it, and then I'll show you. It's here somewhere. So I know you can't see a screen, but
mate.
You will be able to. There you go. Right, I found it. Okay. Right. So this is on my. If you want to look at this, it's on savercrypto.org/blog, and you'll find this one here. So what they've got, these the card tiers. You got Essential, Plus, Prime, Premier, Platinum, and Prestige, right? I mean, there's things like, I don't know, they charge you 13 quid for getting a card, which I think is outrageous. I mean, even ones that charge for it, it's normally a £5, isn't it?
Yeah.
Upgrade to a physical card, 5 quid. So that 13 quid is just for a virtual card. I mean, that should be free, shouldn't it? But then they got this. You see, they got cash wallet loading fees. So with the free tier, they charge you 2 quid for putting money into the account, right? And even with the Prestige, the top tier, they charge you 25p. And for me, I worked this out, even if I was to upgrade to one of these tiers here, I'd still have to spend about 400 quid before I was breaking even on the cashback. And even worse, the cashback you get is paid in XTP, and it's locked for 12 months as well.
Right.
So what they did last week was they abolished the loading fees. And so these are all zero now, right? So it costs no money. And it's almost like, oh, this is brilliant news because they're doing the same as everyone else does. but what it meant is looking at the price. So I go back to the price. What it meant was that last week, God, I wish I could make this bigger. It's normally like a full size thing.
Yeah, normally there is. Yeah.
See, it's a crappy exchange. I suppose I could zoom in, couldn't I? Does that work?
Yeah. What's that magnifying glass to the right there?
That thing there?
Yeah, what does that do? Oh, quick search.
Yeah. Oh, it's a mess, isn't it? No, I can't do that. Just right. Okay, that's all right. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Right, let's see if I can reset that. Anyway, right. So yeah, I'm sorry I have to deal with this chart, but so last week it was down about here, right? 0.000. I don't even know what that number is. It's so small. So that was, when was that? That was 30th of May. So about 5 days ago. I think it was about here. I can't remember when they introduced the zero loading fees, but anyway, it was around about then. And since then, it's actually up 114%. So it's doubled in value in about 4 or 5 days. And this seems to have created a bit of interest in XTP again. But I think, they haven't actually done very much, really. All they've done is just taken away those loading fees. So,
yeah.
But that's enough for me to actually want to use the app, right? And what I did, because also there's another problem as well. But anyway, what I did was I put all the XTP I've got, which has been on a ledger for 2 years doing nothing. I moved it over to the XTP thing, and I managed to catch a bit of a spike one day, and I actually upgraded it to the platinum level. So that means now when I spend money on the card, I get 6% cash back, which is pretty cool. And to be honest, it only needs a little pump now, and if I can snag the prestige level, then they do actually do a thing where if you can get a certain level, you don't downgrade if the price of the XTP goes down. So if you see it go high, then you can upgrade to a higher level, do it, and then that you'll be able to keep that level. But the problem is when you do that, your XTP is locked for a year, and like I say, the rewards are also locked as well.
Yeah.
For a year. Now, there's another UK problem. The UK problem is the fact that the card is in euros, because TAP are based in Gibraltar. They sorted it all out there with a Latvian bank and all this sort of stuff,
Yeah.
So everything's in euros. So the only way you can load the card is by putting euros on it. Okay. And I did an experiment yesterday where I had some GBP on the app, and I thought, what sort of rate do I get converting this to euros? Because that's the only way really people in the UK can use this. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But the only way they can use it is like getting GBP, converting it into euros, putting it on the card, and then you go down Tesco, do your shopping, you pay for it in pounds, but that gets converted on the card in euros.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see how much, what the actual exchange rate was like, between GBP and euros. And I did some comparisons with Wise, and even the prestige tier isn't as good as using a Wise card for doing the transfer. So that isn't a reason to have the card or have the app. But what I'm doing with it, I'm putting euros on there from things where, like, for example, the work I do, sometimes I get paid in dollars. Dollars aren't any use to me at the moment, so I'll convert that into euros on TransferWise, put it onto the TAP app, and then I'll save that for when I go to Spain in August.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing with it. However, right, according to TAP from AMA, they did. I'm nearly finished, by the way.
No, go on, mate. Carry on.
But according to the boss Arson, he did this. It's a good name, isn't it? Arson. Anyway, Arson. He did the same I think it was December last year, and one of the questions, I think it might have been from me actually, saying like, when are you actually going to be able to have proper GBP accounts, and when we will be able to load the card with GBP? And he said it should happen within the first 2 quarters of 2025. So they've got about 4 weeks left.
Yeah.
Now, if that happens, bearing in mind the fact that they've just done something tiny, like all they've done is taken away that £2 fee for loading your money in the account, and the price doubled, right? If they do introduce the GBP accounts, I actually think the price of it will recover quite a lot, and not financial advice or anything like that, but I think the price XTP is at the moment, I don't think it will ever be that price ever again. That's quite a bold statement, and I might be wrong, and but that's what I think. So I haven't actually been buying any more. I was tempted. I was tempted when I did a video about a week ago when they first took away the fee for loading the card, and I was thinking like, this is going to be good. This is going to go up, and it bloody did. It doubled, and I thought, oh damn!
Yeah.
Didn't take my own financial advice there. But if I'd done that, I could have doubled my money. But I still think it's got a long way to go. I mean, it's obviously back to 50 cents from the almost zero it's at now is a long way. I don't think it'll get back there, but it'll certainly get somewhere near there. I mean, the market cap is, I don't know, it's like a few million or something. It's nothing, So yeah, so consequently, I've been making a few videos and stuff about XTP, and they've been good, going down pretty well, and that's why I kind of posted a few links in their Telegram groups and stuff this morning, trying to get some people here. But I mean, so far I think it's just Craig, isn't it, who's here? But if anyone else is here from the XTP world, please do say hello.
There's someone called Alexandra.
Oh yeah. He's a guy. He lives in Switzerland, and actually Switzerland. I think Switzerland have got a problem. I don't think they can actually deal at all with tap actually. But yeah, it's just actually that might not be. Do you mean Alex? Oh, Alex Bell? No,
this guy. I don't know.
Alexander
Reese. Alexander
yeah, that's
Reese.
that's him. Yeah. But he's always been an XTP bull, and yeah, I've known him for quite a while actually. So yeah. Anyway, I think it's interesting, and it's one of those things that I know TMG doesn't want to talk about it ever again because he got so much crap for it because he thought it was going to go really high and it didn't. But I think it will now. So that's what I think. You know,
I've never really kept up with it. I didn't realize that was the case. I mean, it did go high though, didn't it? At the start of 2023, it did.
Oh yeah.
It did go really high compared to where it was.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I don't know if
just obviously just what's happened since of it. I mean,
was that?
I have to go on a daily.
Actually,
you'll have to click on the daily.
Oh yeah.
If you zoom out.
But it was one of those things with
there it is.
Is that?
Yeah, it did go exceptionally high, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have me kind of buying a house head on me at the time. I didn't really care about that, but I should have bloody done that and bought a house, shouldn't I?
Well, you live and learn, don't you, mate? You live and learn.
Yeah, and but I mean, you know, people moan about TMG, but really, if you'd have timed it right, it was a 5.5. Yeah, it was a 5,500% increase.
Yeah, even on the way up, though, you know, even if you would have bought after the original pump, you know, you would have got a good few X, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, say if you bought, I don't know, like, you know, a third of the way through that pump after it had probably already done like 10X or whatever, you would have still got a good few X. So, yeah, yeah,
I mean, the problem was like me, everyone saw it going up and up and up and thought like, I'll hang on to it, you know, and it's going to go, you know, I mean, I can't remember the sort of figures TMG was talking about, but they were quite high, you know. Yeah. He was comparing the market cap with things like crypto.com, which is probably unrealistic, to be honest. In fact, very unrealistic. But you know, that was giving like you know, values of like, you know, $3 or $4, I think, something like that, you know, which would make me, so if that was the case, I'd have like $40 million now, and I haven't. I've got about 10. but nevertheless, you know, I looked at my XTP on my ledger a couple of weeks ago, and it was worth $3,000, like dollars, and it's now in my app. It's worth over 10,000 quid. So, so I'm happier than I was.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, with the recent price on it, it's had a good push up on it. So
yeah, and all I need really is I need it to double in price now. Which, to be honest, it's done that in the last 4 days. So there's no reason it can't do it again. I need it to double again, then I can upgrade to the prestige tier, and then after that, then you know, well, depends how much I need to do that. But if I've got XTP left over and it does pump, you know, I can sell it or whatever at a higher price. Otherwise, I'll be hanging on to it until this time next year. And to be honest, I don't think it's all going to be over by then anyway. But you know, we'll see. You know,
yeah. Well, thank you very much for that, mate. That was, you know, that was very educational because I don't really keep up with it at all. Okay. And obviously for you guys that have come in and come over from obviously Save Crypto's video, or you know, in that community, thank you very much for joining us. And yeah, no doubt Save will keep us updated on stream.
Yeah. Has everybody left now?
No, I think everyone's still here, to be honest. Do make sure you all drop a big like on the stream and subscribe if you're not. Let's catch up on some comments, what we maybe missed out on. So what have we got? So BPN saying Bitcoin dropping before open, so maybe we have a little pump. I think I mean the last 2 days. Don't know if you've been watching Bitcoin on the opens, mate, but I think on Monday it pumped and then dropped, and then yesterday it dropped then pumped. So we have been getting some volatility on the opens, and it has been going in reversal. Florin, how we doing? Good afternoon. Great to see you. We got Cryptogenic giving the energy. He's here again, saying smash the likes for the legends, helping us on our crypto journey. Yes, do make sure you drop a big like if you haven't. Yes, see, I've not seen you in a while, mate. Great to see you again. Spud, how we doing? How we doing? Great to see you. And we've got BPN saying that you've got a lovely voice to learn from. So you've got a bit of an admirer there, BPN.
Nice.
BPN's admiring your voice. A lot of people have said that on stream, actually, haven't they?
Oh, that's yeah. Well, that's nice.
you have got a really good voice for narrating. Like, I think if you like narrated stuff, I think it would be very, very like calming and soothing.
What do you mean, like children's stories and stuff like that?
Well, whatever, or just like how you do on stream. Like, it's very nice to kind of just sit back and listen.
Yeah, it's funny actually because when I used to play in the band in the Alps and stuff, I was a bass player, so I didn't say a lot. I just did a bit of backing vocals, and occasionally I'd say a bit, and then the singer bloke. It was a bit of an arse, to be honest. Well, he's a good mate of mine, but he's not very tactful,
Yeah.
And he'd just say he just slagged me off for being boring, and like saying no one wants to listen to you. Leave the talking to me. And I think you're a rude bastard, But anyway, so it's quite weird now. I sort of do YouTube videos all the time, and people don't seem to mind me talking, so that's all right. So he was wrong.
Yeah,
Billy Idol voice.
Yeah, I agree with Wiz. Wiz says you've got an audio book voice. That's it, mate. That's it. Audio books is the way forward for sure. I could definitely just imagine myself, headphones in, sitting back, and just being like, "Go on, speak to me, Save."
Yeah,
and just chilling out. It'd be nice.
Actually, that girlfriend I had last year, because she lived about 50 miles away, so I used to see her at weekends, really. But so sometimes she sort of called me in the evening and said, "I'm just going to go off to sleep. Can you just talk to me for a while?" And said your voice is like chocolate in my ears, and I thought chocolate in your ears. It doesn't sound very nice, actually.
No,
so
yeah,
last place you want chocolate, really, isn't it?
Yeah, not in your ears. Too hard to clean. We've got Spud says he slapped a like, and make sure you all do the same.
Oh, well done.
We've got Fever in again. How we doing, Fever? 2 days in a row. We are graced with your presence. Florin says, did you make a video about TMG some years ago? I remember a similar voice to yours. The guy spoke nicely about TMG, and I think it was you, was it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. No, I've always been a fan, to be honest. I do get a bit annoyed when people slag him off because I don't think he deserves it. I think he's a good fella. I'm about old enough to be his dad, but
Yeah. Don't tell everyone. Don't tell everyone, mate.
What?
Don't tell everyone your age. You're a young chap, aren't you?
I am.
He's a spring chicken. Loki says previous days low on taking on Bitcoin into SR with low volume, send it back up. So Loki is estimating a reversal, I'm guessing. And Alexandra's got the right idea. Says above all, tell your friends. That is it, mate. That's your punchline, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it has been for a long time.
That is your punchline. So I mean, let's flick through. I tell you what we'll do. We will get the poll up. We'll go and have a look at the Mag 7, and then we'll flick through some altcoin charts. And mate, you'll be pleased to know that my Mac is unlocked now, I believe.
How did you do that?
Dean done it.
Oh, okay.
Got Apple to sort it. Now, I believe it's unlocked. They've said to him it's unlocked, but I'm yet to load it up and set it up, so I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have a crack at it either this afternoon or first thing tomorrow. So let's go and have a look at the Mag 7 pre-market, and then we will move on to some altcoin charts. We've got Nvidia up ever so slightly. Apple is down a little bit. Does it look like there's been much movement? Not really. Seems like there's very marginal movement in the Mag 7. Yeah. So nothing of note at all. Everything's pretty much around where it closed yesterday. So we looked at ETH before, obviously just still hanging around in this current range. We've got XRP, really nicely traded by Stonksy. I don't know if you've looked at this, mate, but Stonksy's been really, really good on the recent drop and the reversal on a lot of altcoins, XRP being one of them. Obviously got into the red background here, traded it down, and then back into the green, exited the red for the pump up. Got Sol is still chopping around as well. Not really much to note on Sol. And I think this is the same with a lot of altcoins, isn't it? You know, going back to kind of, not this time last week because everything's sold off a little bit since then. But particularly, you know, since the start of the week, we're yet to really get any directional movement on any altcoins. You know, we've got Doge and ADA there pretty much at the same levels as earlier in the week. Link is another one of these that was really nicely traded down and then into the green. Same for AVAX. But yeah, I mean, you can see just looking through, you know, we've got a few here. Litecoin's been having a nice relief rally back towards $90. But it looks like, anyway, that it has been mostly about the low time frames for trades. OM is having a little bit of a pump. Do you know what? I haven't seen Reggie Man in the stream for ages, you know.
Think he's all right?
I hope so, mate. I hope so. I hope if anyone... or maybe he's lurking in the shadows. I don't know. But yeah, I hope he's doing all right.
I'm just having a look at the price I sold Tesla at yesterday. I sold it at 354. That was brilliant.
Was it near the top?
Yeah, it was like.
Well done. Round of applause there.
Oh, thanks.
Nicely played, mate. Nicely played. Kato is having a bit of a fall from grace, obviously. It's had a super rally, hasn't it, so far? And do not tell me that this came into... So yeah, it looks like... look at that. This is another case of I draw these boxes on stream and stuff, and then I just never actually trade them. So obviously it's come into here, and that would have been an impeccable short so far. So I wish I could say I'd taken that, but I haven't yet. But Stonksy obviously has been giving some great indication on it. And if we just flick through, you can see there's not really much going on. Everything is either up or down very marginally. We're yet to get... I mean, this thing is unbelievable, this core weave that Wiz got into and traded all the way up. This thing is mental. I mean, that is a solid, you know, nearly 5x, like a 4-5x, isn't it? Obviously from the bottom there, but, you know, in and around the 40s, that is around about a 4x now. But this thing just keeps going and going, and in pre-market, it's up again. Yeah, I think this is definitely one of the best Wiz picks, that's for sure. That is in the space of a month as well.
How did he know that? Tell us, Wiz.
I think he was looking at the contract it had signed, or what he was. So something that Wiz was talking about on stream on Friday was these used to be Ethereum miners, these guys. So what they did, you know, when ETH switched to proof of stake, instead of like going mining Bitcoin, they chose to, I think, obviously utilize all the hardware that they had and switched over to being like a data resource for AI, I think.
Oh, right.
So obviously utilizing all the hardware, but instead of mining, obviously just putting it to use with AI, which I think, you know, Wiz has discussed, like, which may be something that we see a lot of. Because, you know, all these miners and everything, they've obviously got all the kit, haven't they? You know, one of the hardest things for companies or to set up and find he's obviously getting these big warehouses, these big spaces, and then obviously, kitting it out with all this hardware, where miners have already obviously got all that done already, haven't they? So I believe that's the case. Anyway, Wiz, if you want to correct me in the chat, let me know. But I believe that is the case, isn't it? It's like just pretty much just switching over from mining to being an AI data center, I think. So yeah, that is interesting. But I mean, yeah, that must be one of the best performing stocks in the stock market of over the past month. What have we got? So he's saying, what have we got? Core Weave is more important than the Mag 7, yeah. Bobby, half an hour exactly, actually. Sean, how we doing, mate? What's the crack with Trump and tariff in Europe? I have no idea, actually. I'm not too sure. Blast from the past, but Plutus looks like it could pump up with a token burn and updates coming. Right. Yeah, I haven't looked at Plutus in absolutely ages. That is a blast from the past. Do you know what? I actually got some really good cash back on Plutus back in the day.
Yeah.
I think in total, from when I was using it, I think I got around must have been about 600 to 800 quid in Plutus back. Which is
I did look into it myself, actually. And it was when crypto.com changed some terms and conditions, and it sort of annoyed me a bit. And I was saying I'll have a look what else is around. And I know a lot of people were talking about Plutus. It never appealed to me much because you have to pay for a tier, don't you? And then you get the cash back and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
So it wasn't a lot, and it was like a $5 a month or something. And then you had to, depending on how much PLU, wasn't it? How much PLU you staked, that you get stuff. Anyway, so what did I do? I think I initially applied for it when I was living in France, and I tried to put some euros into it, and then it just got returned, and no one seemed to know why that was.
Yeah,
it might have been down to my French bank. And then when I moved to England, I thought I'll give it another go. And I actually spoke to a guy on the support there, and he said, to be honest, there's a 6-month waiting list for the card, so I wouldn't bother. And I was thinking, God, the actual support are saying that. That sounds like a company that's in trouble, So I didn't bother really. But yeah, so I've never used it myself. But you reckon you have, yeah?
I used to use it a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't used it though in probably over 2 years, I think.
Because
it was something that they did an update in the app where it was like you had to kind of change how you loaded the card or something.
Okay.
And I'd recently just sold all the PLU that I'd accrued, and I was like, I can't be bothered with this anymore. So I just scrapped it off. Yeah. Okay. And just stopped doing it. Now, obviously, in hindsight, even if it was a low amount, during that time, I would have obviously still accrued something, wouldn't I? I would probably still have something to show for it rather than just spending on a normal debit card. But yeah, there we go. That is that. So Jordan has said, can you take a look at Compound? Finally broke the downtrend, of course. So Compound obviously came back into, historical lows around this kind of mid 35. Obviously, it's gone lower in the past, down towards 30. But particularly, over the past year, this kind of mid $30 range has been quite key. And yeah, it's obviously pushing back to the upside. It did get up there in May, back towards $50, and then broke down. So you can quite clearly see, can't you? This region here being the sticking point for price. Obviously pushed in here. And then as that pushed in again today there, I think. Is that pushed in? I can't tell where the line is on that. Let's have a look on the hourly. Yeah. Pushed in again there and then fell off. So this is definitely the sticking point for price. Now, Stonksy has been beautiful in trading it back up towards that resistance. But yeah, this is definitely daily resistance. So it needs to flip it. Now, where would we be going if we was to flip that? Then, I'd be probably up there. Looks like a good shout. So, a roughly just under 20% pump if we can flip that $50 region. and then obviously then we're on back to up here then. But yeah, I think if we can flip this area into support and reclaim it, then taking out all of this seems pretty logical to me. Above there, you're then obviously starting to move towards like $70. But yeah, that's what we're looking at on compound. And yes, Stonksy is trading it lovely. Now you can see the benefit of the channels there. Price literally just blasted out of the inner channel all the way to the extremity of the outer channel, which then marks obviously a point of momentum dry out, and then slam back down into the inner channel again. So yeah, great trading by Stonksy there, and it is still green on the background too. What have we got going on? We've got loads of stuff going on in the chat. Loud has dropped like a stone. Is this Loudio thing? I don't know about anyone else, but all of a sudden, I just saw nothing but this bloody Loud thing. I'm guessing. Is it this Wiz? Loud. It's not on really anywhere, is it? Is it even worth looking at? It's not really on many exchanges, is it? Oh yeah, look at that, yeah. Oh, what a surprise. So nothing really going on with that. Let's go and pull Bitcoin back up. Cryptogenic says TMG is a legend. He is, mate. He is. Wang, how's Polkadot doing? I'll be honest with you. I don't. Not too good, really. Or nothing to scream about anyway. If we look on the daily, it's back in towards its lows, isn't it? Historical lows as well. This region here continues to be resistance, just above $5. So this is, obviously strong, really hard resistance for the price. Down here, we do have, macro SR. So anywhere down towards like 375, you want to see hold. But I mean, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, how is it doing? Not very well. If you are like a Polkadot bull, you would obviously prefer it to be much higher than here. Now, obviously, to the upside, I think it's pretty clear where it can go. We've obviously got one level of resistance here. Then up here will obviously be another strong level of resistance. And then finally, we have the big high time frame kind of line in the sand if you look at the weekly. Very high time frame because it's actually only touched it twice in recent years. But obviously on any sort of really strong rally, this is where prices come in and supply came in. And when I say line in the sand, because obviously there's not really much to fill in there back to the upside before you get towards like $20. But yeah, until then, it's got a real job on its hands. I mean, even just to get back towards $10, it's going to have to break this harsh piece of resistance and then back up towards here as well. So if you are Polkadot bull, yeah, you obviously want to see it hold down towards $3.75. And then up towards $5, it really needs to break that kind of like $5.25 region. And that's what we're on with that. So I hope that helps. Comp tends to follow Aave with a lag. Yes. Trump 50% tariff on Europe hits today. When Trump talks, so I don't know if really that's had an effect. Obviously, I think it was it last week or the week before he announced it. So I don't know if them going into effect really has any kind of significance.
We got something happening at 3:00, isn't there?
I'll check. KK is asking about XTP. What factors could influence? I mean, really, just needs anything to cause excitement or buying pressure, doesn't it?
I think there's a few things. One is having proper GBP accounts, which I think is supposed to happen in the next month or so. If that happens, I think that would be a massive catalyst. And also actually having it working properly in the US, I think that would be huge. And then they have plans to scale it out into Latin America, Africa and beyond, Australia, I think, as well. I mean, if they do that, then, I can't see it the only way it isn't up, unless they do something really stupid or unless they're really strangled by some sort of regulations or whatever, like they have been in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, for something like that, the key thing probably is getting listed on better exchanges again too, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
something just more readily available. Like even if it's obviously, you're not going to get on the big ones straight. You're not going to be able to just go on Binance or whatever. But if you start walking up to at least some of the smaller ones that are just more readily available, pretty much any, it's a bit of a meme in it, but pretty much any ticker that's available always typically goes on MEXC first, doesn't it? For example, you always kind of get that as being like the first one where a ticker just suddenly appears. Obviously, it'd be great to have it on BLOFIN, for example, for you join Stonksy/XTP bulls. But yeah, kind of just getting, this goes for any token, not just that. Any token that's looking to obviously increase its market share and obviously demand and trading volume.
Yeah.
You just need to hit more eyeballs and more, be more accessible for people. That is literally the task, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, quite often, a lot of people with a lot of these small tokens, people always sort of, dream of like, the tokens getting listed on Binance and things like that. And quite often when it does, it's the kiss of death, isn't it? However, with the case of XTP, the fact that it isn't on an exchange that even TradingView uses, I think that is a serious omission. I think the fact that you can't chart it. I mean, we can't even put Stonksy on it, can we? Because we can't get it on TradingView. So that's rubbish. So yeah, anything would do. MEXC have anyone, in my experience. And then there's all the weird little ones. I mean, even something like Ascendex or was it Bitmart? All them little crappy ones. They you can use them on TradingView. And just anything really. And what would really be good was like another XTP BTC pair. The only thing with that is at the moment it's actually worth less than 1 sat, which is which is something,
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, definitely a few key things they could do there. Now we have already had ADP employment change today at 12:15, but we do have at 3 o'clock ISM services, and then of course the big one on Friday, NFP comes in. We do have 26 likes, so big thank you to everyone that's dropped a like. You absolute legends. Please do, if you haven't already, drop a like and subscribe as well. And of course, remember, you can still get your 20% off your first month of Stonksy if you haven't already. Stonksy is what you see on the screen, the indicator in front of us. You do get full indicator access, oscillator access, which is down here, Discord access, and access to the trading bots, where we have just updated the strategies. There is a full video on the YouTube channel. That is the latest one that has gone out, looking at the exact figures and the returns on the strategies that we are running on both the bots for full transparency for everyone to see. So you do get access to all of that on the monthly plan. You do get it on the annual and lifetime as well, or access to everything I've just mentioned, but you can get 20% off your first month still. So that is code BOT20. It's the second link in the description, and BOT20 at checkout on this monthly plan to receive 20% off your first month. Come and give it a go. We do obviously have this cheaper plan, but you only get oscillator and Discord access on this. So yeah, you have a wide choice for sure. But if you do want to get everything, take advantage of that 20% off today. It'd be great to see you over there.
So that there oscillator on the 1 hour with Bitcoin, that's been like banging against the top for a couple of days now, and it's just started to come down a little bit. Does that mean we're going down? Yeah,
it means that we could see momentum subside. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to let's pull that up. Actually, we can have a look at that. What you're talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alexandra as well. He's saying that the TAP plans is APAC. I think that's Asia Pacific something over there for 2026, and then Africa for 2027. That's their plans.
It's a long way away, that though, isn't it?
It's a long way away, yeah. And he's saying with every XTP utility and every new feature and compliance becoming more and more crypto friendly, it's a solid 100x. So there you go. That's what he said, not me, but that's what Alexandra said. And I think it might, to be honest. And like, I'd be bloody delighted if it did, because that means I'd have 100 times 10 grand. What's that?
$1 million.
There you go.
You can buy me a pint.
Buy your pint and
pie in a pint.
I'll push the boat out and get you a new chair.
Yeah. Get me like a proper fancy one that'll like massage me and do all fancy stuff.
Well,
really push the boat out.
Well, we'll see, right?
Yeah, got to get there first.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's where we're up to. We've got 15 minutes until US Open, so do get your voting on the poll, and then we'll close it in a second. Let's go and have a little look at the heat map, shall we? So 24-hour liquidity. We have got hotspots at 107, 600-ish, and then obviously one to the immediate downside, which price looking like it may come for $104,500 mark. 3-day chart. Again, you've got a hotspot down here, so this seems to be a bit of a consensus on different time frames. Maybe that is where price is being drawn to. Is that below? No, I was going to say, is it the weekly low, but it's not, is it? Because that would have been... Or would it? Oh, yeah, no, the second, yeah. So not the weekly low, but yesterday's low. Let's have a look at the 2-week, shall we? What is the 2-week showing? While it loads. So yeah, hotspot on the 2-week is down at 103,000. And then, of course, we've got it running from 110 upwards towards the all-time high and then above. And then, just for while we're here, we may as well look at the 3-month.
I still don't understand this, I don't understand how the time frames work. So that...
I think, well, mostly when you up the time frame, it just zooms the price out. So you can see there on the 3-month, you get obviously the price action all from the 3 months. So it'll show you levels all the way down to, towards 60 and up towards, you've got up towards 140k here. But when you go on the 3-day, obviously it'll just show you the 3-day time frame. So, you only get price back towards 3 days ago.
Okay. And this is just data from the order book, isn't it?
This is supposedly pulled from there, yeah.
So if people have people have orders down at, I don't know, 10k or whatever, and they've been there for years, that would just show as a, just like that, really. And they'll never move, will they?
If they're still there, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be mental. Like, in saying that, I remember one time, there was a time where it was only on one exchange, and I can't remember what it was, but Bitcoin got like a mega flash crash. This was only probably maybe about a year ago, maybe just over a year ago, and it got like a really big flash crash on one exchange, and it went all the way down. I think the price was at about 60k at the time or something.
All right.
And it got like a really quick flash crash down to like 12, 15k something.
So did people get their orders filled?
Well, if it wasn't a glitch and it actually happened, then yeah, they will have. If there was time to fill them.
Because if it's a glitch the other way, and people complain, I know some exchanges give you your money back, don't you? Like,
I suppose if it's their fault, yeah. I mean, you can tell, can't you, when it's a glitch? Because if it's just happening on one exchange, then it's obviously glitched out, innit? Unless they're doing something very wrong to the users.
Yeah. But the weird one that does that is Borg, Swiss Borg. That seems to have like crazy candles like every few days, and it will just like, have some like manic sort of thing. And I don't know if it. I don't know. It is on. I think it's still on something like KuCoin or something, but like it isn't really on any exchanges now, But I keep thinking that maybe I should just set some silly orders, to like buy it or sell it.
Yeah.
Just like stink bids, really. Or...
Yeah, I mean the only annoying thing is when you're doing stuff like that is you have to have the money locked up, don't you? That's the only annoying thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have massive orders for Bitcoin and just set down at like 15k, you know, and then just forget about them. But you know, I want to be using that money for other stuff, really.
Yeah, that's the only annoyance, really. Now, let's close out this poll. Let's see what everyone got on the poll. So 65% thinking that we're going up. So the consensus is up. I don't know. I think, I don't know. It's difficult because you could definitely see, because we've sold off into the open, you can definitely see reason to pump up, and then even, you know, if we're going to go lower, then come back down. I think generally, I think we've got lower to go, in my opinion. You know, it could go really slow. So I think we could definitely see a pump on open, given that we've sold off pre-market, and then maybe reversal back to the downside.
What do you think of that James Wynn fella?
We were talking about this yesterday. I think it's either one kind of like insider marketing stunt from Hyperliquid,
right,
or someone has kind of like put him up to it, and it's kind of just playing the character.
Okay,
is what I think.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, in terms of marketing, I mean, it's got everyone looking at Hyperliquid, hasn't it? Even if you've never used it before, there's probably a likelihood that people have gone and had a look at it, maybe followed his wallet on there and stuff like that. So in terms of marketing for Hyperliquid, it has been massive marketing.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of, in my head, I kind of just like refuse to believe that someone is that stupid. Like, to be that stupid to then get towards 100 million, but then also be stupid to just gamble it away in a week. Like, how could someone be that stupid to then make that money in the first place, but then also then lose it? Which obviously, you know, can happen. You know, you have people that win the lottery that go bankrupt and stuff, don't you? So it can obviously happen, but to do it in front of everyone is what I mean. Like, you know, you could easily go and do that on Binance, on Bybit. You know, if you want to get these big orders filled, you're obviously looking at the big exchanges. You could go and do that in private and no one would know. Why do it on Hyperliquid in front of everyone if you're not playing a character or trying to get everyone to look at you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you heard any interviews with him?
I have not heard anything. No,
right.
I know he's been going on. I think he's been going on Spaces and stuff, hasn't he? And
well, he was on old Ran Neuner from Crypto Banter. Interviewed him the other day, and I listened to that, and I must say, it doesn't sound very bright, to be honest.
No. Well, I don't know where he supposedly made all his money. I know, obviously, he claims to have called Pepe at 600k. Which is an exceptional call, if that's true. Yeah. You know, you're talking tens of thousands of X's on that call. So, you know, say you put, I mean, if you're willing to bet on something like that, say you put 5k in as just like a round number. Obviously, you know, if you already got loads of money, then you could obviously put more in. But you know, 5k at 600k. Let's do the maths on it. So it's 1,000x. To 600 million from there. That right? Yeah, 10x to 6 mil. Yeah. So 1,000x. So that would be 5 million. From if you put $5,000 in it at 600k to 600 million is 5 mil. Now, obviously, it's not stopped at 600 mil. It went to 10 billion at its peak. But, you know, you're not going to hold on to it to the peak and then just happen to sell the top, are you? But, you know, say you even sold all of it at 3 billion. You know, that's 15 million then. So I don't know how much. I have no idea. I don't know.
It was just really weird the way he was talking. It was like, he was kind of saying that, it comes from a background where there wasn't much money. So, you know, having 100 million didn't really mean very much, you know. I was thinking, that's just bullshit. It's got to be, isn't it? I mean, you know, the guy's from, I think he's from like kind of, you know, Manchester, Salford sort of area, you know, so he's not from a particularly wealthy area. And that sort of money is life changing, not just for him, but for his
Yeah,
family.
I don't believe it. Yeah, I refuse. I refuse to believe that.
And there was something on X this morning, a post from him, and it was literally like a really badly drawn trend line, and said, "Oh, that's it. The Bitcoin's broken this support. It's a trend change."
Exactly, and that kind of is what makes me think he's playing a character, because
I was like, where are you getting your TA from? Bloody Crypto, It's
just like engagement farming, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than anything. So I don't know. I mean, we'll probably never find out, but either, whether he is just a compulsive gambler, or, he's been marketing for Hyperliquid, or God knows what else. Yeah. We'll never know, but yeah, I just in my head, I just refuse that someone can be that stupid to then get themselves in that position and then lose it all in that quick of time. I just can't accept it in my head that someone can be that stupid. So yeah, there we go. I mean, if I would have ran for the hills. What have we got? We've got BPN saying, I'll set an alert for 100k and look then. So BPN thinks we're going lower. We have got 4 minutes until open. While we've just been chatting, we have had a pump back to the upside by a couple of $100.
Okay.
So let's get the 1 minute chart on. And obviously, in the meantime, if you are looking to trade anywhere, whether it be, obviously, you looking to trade Bitcoin, altcoins, on futures, buy and sell your spot, or just have somewhere to hold your stables for doing whatever with, do make sure you sign up to BLOFIN. It is the first link in the description, and I'll put it in the chat now. And it is non-KYC, so you can create your account with just an email in under a minute. And it is a fantastic exchange overall to use. The interface and the experience is second to none. So do make sure you click that and sign up. Yeah, we have a couple minutes to go. What are you saying, mate? Up or down?
I can't remember. I think because I always vote up, I actually voted down, but I'm not sure about that now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't get it at the moment. It's confusing me.
It is a tricky spot, isn't it?
I never like it when it's over 100k. I just find it really, really weird. I don't know. It seems like you're on some weird planet.
Yeah.
Where everything's too expensive. So what was the all-time high now? Is it 104? No, what was it? 114? Was it? No. How high did we go? 100.
I think it was 112 and a half-ish.
Okay.
I think it was like 112 and a half. Yeah, and a half.
All right. So we are actually down a fair bit.
I think down like, what is it? Just over 5%.
We're keeping you up, mate.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm just boring you to death.
Yeah, I need a little siesta.
Oh dear. So we're actually down. Oh, it's only down 6% from the top. Yeah. Is that right?
Cryptogenic says 100. Yeah, which is why I still think we could see, because this isn't even borderline correction yet, is it? Like, this is like still just in a dip. If we go and have a look quickly at the daily, while we've been in these consolidation phases, obviously since coming up from the bottom, obviously this one we came down. In this phase, we came down like 4.5%-ish. In here, from the peak to obviously around the bottom after that, that was like 4%-ish. Here, no doubt will have been the same. And so far, we have done to the bottom. So far, we have done nearly 8. So we have dipped a bit, but still, I still wouldn't even put 8% in the realm of correction. That's still just a dip to me. Like a correction, we're talking about like really coming and gunning for some liquidity. So I mean, down here would you put it at 10%, which at that point, is that even still a correction? I mean, correction for me would be like into like the mid 90s, which obviously is up for debate whether we would go there or not. But that's where I would say, okay, Bitcoin's corrected now. This I would just label as dip, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit on that's the daily time frame you.
Yeah.
Oop, there you go. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Of course, I give it an extra long ring-a-ding today.
Oh, I was waiting for the bell end.
Yeah, I bet. Open, where the bell? We're just on the bell, don't you worry. Here we go. Fib is drawn from recent all-time high to recent low in the 70k region, just to be clear. So that was from Cryptogenic talking about we need to close above 105.020 to be bullish. But it is the 88.6 fib level.
Which is not a fib level, is it? But
I think it means 88.6k maybe.
Oh, I see, right.
Which is drawn from the recent all-time high to the low in the 70k region.
Oh yeah, 88,691. Smart, yeah.
Yeah. Hey Jeff, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Yeah, smash the likes, get it all in there. And of course, for those of you who aren't signed up to Stonksy, you can get your 20% off. First link in the description. If you're over on X, head over to the Stonksy X page. Make sure you drop a follow. And the link to the website is in the bio. Bot 20 on the monthly plan for 20% off your first month. Come and get access to everything and give it a go. Come and try out these new trading bot strategies as well.
Actually, have you seen how well that fib works on the daily?
Let's go and see. So
if you go from the low in April, then go up to the all-time high.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's halfway. Yeah, that would be the 618 to the. I mean that is obviously, that would be the midpoint, wouldn't it? And that would pull it into really decent support as well.
Yeah.
I mean, people would probably go mad if you suggested, low 90Ks now. We're never going there. We're never going there. Don't rule it out. Anything is possible. Like, wherever Stonksy says we're going, or whatever you think the chart says, just attach no emotion to it. We could, I assume if we would have said down here in early April, 80k, we're going to be at a new all-time high come mid to late May, people would have said, no way, that's not happening. Same thing, isn't it? It's just the extremities of emotion. But yeah, I think that mid-range, would, in the event of we're talking like a proper correction on Bitcoin before higher, that would probably make plenty of sense around that area. Flush loads of people out and then onto, new highs, maybe after summer, or I don't know. I suppose it depends on your time scale, but typically we don't really see anything exciting during summer, do we? So we might be in for a real long summer of streaming if it's anything like previous years.
Today nothing happened.
Yeah. So on day 45 of a 3k Bitcoin range.
I might buy Tesla again,
Yeah.
Just looking at it. Yeah, I think
we
I
are
will.
pumping. We're getting a little rally on
what?
On open on Bitcoin. Nothing major, but we're higher than when the US market opened, so that is something.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy some Tesla.
Oh, he's doing it. He's going for it, the lad.
I know.
He's going for it.
Oh, what shall I go for? 3, 4. I'll tell you.
So I know it's only Wednesday, mate. But what have you got planned for the rest? Beg my pardon. What have you got planned for the rest of the week?
Rest of the week.
Oh, hang on. I'm just getting a phone call. Will you take over a sec?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What have I got planned for the rest of the week? Actually, I'm being pestered by an exchange to do a video about it. Now they're not actually paying me, but they have given me like $1,000 worth of like play money, where I can't withdraw it or anything like that, but I can withdraw a fraction of any profit I make on it. And I started using this exchange. I'm not even going to say which exchange it is, but I started using it. And when you create an order, it doesn't actually show you on the chart where it is. I'm like, I don't even want to mention this really, because it's like it's a rubbish exchange, and it's a really popular one as well. It's like one that you would know. So I'm going to have to do a video about it and just be really truthful and actually say,
what's this? I missed that because I turned my volume down.
Well, you were saying what I'm doing for the rest of the week, and I say I'm being pestered by this exchange.
Yeah.
And it's quite a big one. Begins with K.
Yeah.
And they give me like $1,000 of. It's not actually real money. It's like trial funds, to test it out. So any money I make with it, I can keep. But
okay.
But the thing is, like when you set an order, it doesn't actually appear on the chart.
Right.
I'm
okay.
like, how the hell can you? I don't even know how you can trade that. Like
to be fair, though, I mean, if you get the $1,000 play money, and you throw it on a trade, and because you sometimes like to do like your 20-25x lev, don't you?
Yeah.
You could probably quickly turn that into $1,000 real money for yourself if as long as you catch it right.
Well, I'll have a go, yeah. But I really, I don't really want to like big up the exchange if I think it's crap,
So what is the terms that you do a video for them or something like that?
Well,
or...
kind of, yeah. I don't really want to do that, really.
No. Tell them you want both. You want $1,000 play money and $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Could do us a favour, because you couldn't stick on the Tesla chart and tell me where you think it's going to go, where it's going to bottom out at.
Let's have a look. Oh, we've got SMFC in the chat now.
Oh.
He's finally decided to turn up. He said, totally forgot to join the stream. Gary says, not listening to the bass player. You're going to give him a complex, Dave. Yeah, true. I think he's giving me a complex, to be honest, in the time that I've known him. I think you've given me a complex.
Right.
All I can think about is tofu.
Right, so I've set a buy order at 34.19. No, sorry, 341.9.
Are you talking about in like low time frame or higher time frame?
Well, just right now, really, time frame.
Let's see.
Like 5 minute, I don't know, something like that.
I think so. If we come into that region, so definitely want to see kind of like 335 hold on any sort of test to the downside. That's for certain. Don't want to break below 335. There is a gap down at kind of like 310 down to 300. That would be potentially waiting to be filled. But I don't know. Obviously, when it comes to the S&P 500 and stuff, I know gaps are quite relevant. I don't know how relevant gaps are on stocks. Like, is it something that they actively chase? Because they're pretty much everywhere all the time, aren't they? From obviously where price opens. I mean, you've got a gap down here, gap up here. So maybe they're not actually that relevant on stocks gaps. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, definitely, you can see from mid-May, you've got that's kind of like 330 to 335 region. Price comes in, bought up, tested again on Monday, bought up. So that kind of like 335 down to 330 region, you definitely want to see hold.
Okay. See, part of the appeal of this, if you put it on the 1 hour time frame, if you look at the oscillator,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's all at it's on -1, isn't it?
yeah. So that's making me think might be nearish a bottom at the moment. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting greedy because I made a nice wedge yesterday with it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you don't want to give that back, do you?
No, which I have a habit of doing.
Yeah, you don't want to give that back.
Having said that, I'm only trading it spot, so I'll be bag holding Tesla, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, is it?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Cryptogenic says, I've probably given you a headache today, Dave. No, mate, never. Not at all. But yesterday, Tesla, interesting one to watch. I mean, that is up monstrously, isn't it, from its lows? That thing is up. I think it's like, what is it, like 60% or something from obviously where around it bottomed out? 50%, 53% at the time of we're recording this, which is very, very nice. Cannot complain with that at all. Bitcoin is, it's having a little go, isn't it? It's having a little go back to the upside.
It's a bit nothingy though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I think typically, I mean, this is something we can go and have a look at next. Is June's performance? I know we looked at it on the chart from June to August, but particularly June, like its performance. I think at some point, which is not really like too much to shout about because it's what we're used to now, but I think definitely over the summer we are going to get a real boring few weeks / maybe month or two, and I don't know whether this is the start of it or maybe we get like one more volatile move and then that's kind of done for until September-ish.
Okay, well my Tesla order failed.
What's going on? Hang on. Someone was calling me then on Discord.
Oh. On Discord?
Yeah. I was wondering what was going on. At first, I thought it was one of your alerts, and then it carried on going. So it's obviously, it's not.
All right. Oh, I thought it was a nice screen ban outside.
Could you hear it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course you will have. Right.
Right.
So let's go and have a look at June's performance.
Right. So I bought 50. I bought 50 Tesla shares.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right. So.
And I'm a pound up.
There we go. So, am I still on the screen? Yeah. So, June, if we look back, now I'm you don't really want to go back too far, do you? Because 2015, 16, 17 data, is it really that relevant now? I would definitely argue not. But particularly for the past couple of years. So 2023, we had a plus 12%. Now that was the month of where a lot of the ETF issuers filed their first application. So that was when BlackRock and everyone really started putting in the first applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs. So that gave it a kick up the arse. But as you can see, last year we was minus 7%, which again is hardly anything, is it? It's very minor price movement. 2022 was brutal. That was when obviously we had just absolute chaos in the market. 2021 was minus almost 6%. 2020 was minus 3%. 2019 was a really good year, and then 2018 was minus 14. The average is minus 0.3%, so very minor, and the median is plus 0.32. Now, obviously, it's kind of a bit of a mixture because you've got these wild ones, haven't you? Minus 37, minus 29, and plus 27, plus 12 and stuff. But yeah, it doesn't seem like the like the most exciting month in the world, but we could see some. And again, this is just obviously from open till close, so you could get big price movement in there, and then it just closes obviously close to where it opened. July, on the other hand, obviously has been historically quite a good month. You know, obviously last year it was only plus 3% and then minus 4 the year before, but then we had 3 consecutive years of really good pushes up, plus 16, plus 18, plus 24. Then obviously 2018, 2017 was plus 20, plus nearly 18. So July, actually, out of them all, looks to be the best, because then, you know, you move into August. Past 3 years has been negative. You know, minus 8, minus 11, minus nearly 14. So if anything, you know, will it potentially be the case if we consolidate in June, and then July, maybe we see some fireworks? What do you think, mate? What is what's your head telling you?
I don't know. I know when I was looking into the selling May go away thing, that seems to be more applicable when you've had a bad April. And April was actually really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have a good summer.
Yeah,
I do. And
okay.
But I do think, you know, a lot of people are talking about, you know, everything peaking in the autumn. I think it might drag on a bit longer, actually, because everything seems to be happening sort of slower than what we think.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, people got really excited about but people got really excited about the halving in 2024.
Yeah.
But it was all kind of you know, it did work out, but it was all a bit slower than everyone expected, wasn't it? You know.
Well, I think the halving is one thing that I never really see discussed anymore. Like, you never really you never really see or hear anyone talking about the halvings. You know, we're now post 1 year of the halvings, aren't we?
Yeah.
But it's all kind of focused around ETF flows and, you know, who's adopting Bitcoin, what nations are going to be buying Bitcoin and stuff. Hardly anything about the halving.
Well, the thing is, most of the Bitcoin's mined already, isn't it? So, you know, doesn't really make much difference anymore. You know. Yeah.
So, I mean, and for miners, you know, are they going to really be interested in selling Bitcoin, or, you know, are they looking to keep it? I don't know. I mean, I know there's a few of them that have been raising money to buy, haven't they? So you would imagine if they're raising money to buy, then they're not going to be selling any of theirs. Why would you raise money? SMFC says recency bias. What is that for? Recency bias. I'd like to see what you think on that, mate. What recency bias in terms of what? But yeah, I mean, nothing major going on the S&P. We've had a push up. This is a key level. I mean, yeah, if we can get above this kind of zone, you can see it more clearly on the daily. Obviously, key SR on the daily here, around, obviously tied in to that big juicy $6,000 level. So we are looking like we're pushing up. Definitely having another go on the daily. And if we can close above there and reclaim this zone, then there's obviously really nothing to the upside of where you would associate with an obstacle before we get to the all-time high. So I would be shocked if it closed above here and didn't create an all-time high. That would actually kind of shock me, to be honest. I'd be shooketh. I'd be shooketh, mate.
Shooketh.
But just remember who told you about it. Just remember who told you about it. It was me. It was me. You could have had a nice pump there if you'd have took that trade. There you go. So it was me. Remember who told you about it? Yeah. Yours truly. Yeah, nothing really much going on there, is there? Have you had much time to start using the channels, or have you not really been dabbling in them much yet?
I kind of, I tell you what I use them for is like, I always used to look at that VWAP standard deviation thing, you know,
Yeah.
to look at areas of, you know, where I should be thinking about longing and where I should be thinking about shorting. But, and more to the point is like, you know, if you're ever thinking like, oh, I should be going long here, and then you look at the chart, and I used to put those VWAP things on and thinking like, no, that's a really stupid idea. I actually use the channels for that now. So, you know, if something in your head is saying, oh, it's probably a good time to go long now, and you're right at the top of the channels, you think, no, it isn't, idiot.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of using it for that. But I do want to sort of come up with a bit of a strategy though. I know SMFC has been doing really well with.
Yeah, he's been putting some juicy ones in for anyone, obviously, in the Discord.
But
Sorry. In strategy building, he's been putting some real nice examples. Yesterday, he put 2 in, and he put obviously where he traded it as well. Made a nice 6.5% P&L on that trade. Looking at the channels, and yeah, obviously we've covered it. You know, we cover it all the time on stream. Now you can see exactly when we're looking at something, how price is behaving around a channel, and then, you know, either turning around when approaching the extremities of the inner channel, or if it's an aggressive, strong move, once we get into that outer bounds, kind of the outer channel, it's only a matter of time typically before price turns around. So the performance on the channels is exceptional, and you know, you've got to really tip your hat off to SMFC for getting us them, because it has been a great addition. I love them. I really, really like the channels a lot.
Nice. So any particular time frame that you like, or does it depend on the asset?
Mostly I only really trade Bitcoin, to be honest. I do dabble in a few altcoins still, but like most of the time my main focus is Bitcoin. But yeah, in terms of time frame, I mean, the 1 hour is kind of normally my bread and butter, but I do like the 5 and the 6 minute charts.
Right.
But yeah, generally the 1 hour has always been my bread and butter, alongside obviously looking at, you know, higher time frame levels of interest, like, you know, the daily and maybe even 4 hour. But yeah, I do love it on the 5 and 6 minutes sometimes as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to, like you say, on the hourly time frame. I kind of I'm using it so that I don't diddle in the middle, you know.
Yeah.
So for example, now on the 1 hour time frame, we're pretty much in the middle, slightly down, but like at the moment, I'm not going to trade because, you know, it's not doing much. But you know, if the price comes down and touches the first band that down there, I might start to get interested. And yeah, it's nice. Are they counter channels?
Similar. Yeah, right. They are similar.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they are similar in a way.
Okay. I noticed one of the abbreviations somewhere was like KC or something, so I was thinking, that's probably what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, they are similar in the way that they work, and obviously, you know, there's probably an aspect to them that are similar to Bollinger Bands as well. You know, that is also a measurement, isn't it, of where the extremities of price could be.
Yeah,
you've got a couple of things, but yeah, I think utilizing them with the background is real nice. I think.
Yeah, don't Bollinger Bands are more a indicator of volatility, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, but typically, like, so say on a Bollinger Band, like if you get price outside of a band, then normally you'll see like a reversal back in.
Right.
So obviously, when the volatility is like really drying up, you'll get them squeezing, and then you can estimate, obviously, okay, especially, you know, if it's on, say, the hourly or the 4 hour or even the daily, you know, okay, you know, we're probably going to get a volatile move soon. But, you know, say, you know, on the 4 hour, we get a really strong move and price is like a full candle close outside of the upper band, then normally you would see price then pull back inside the band, and that's where you'd be looking for your pullback. From what I used to look at them anyway when I used to use them a while ago.
Yeah.
We've got SMFC saying there was a short entry this morning on the 1 hour. I think it was this one. Oh no, that's the third.
On Bitcoin.
On Bitcoin this morning.
That would have been.
No, it's because I'm looking at ETH. That's why.
I can't see that.
No, this morning on the 1 hour. This was yesterday at 4 o'clock. On the 1 hour. I don't know.
What are you on about?
Yeah, but yeah, do make sure, obviously, for those of you in the Discord, check out the strategy building for SMFC, pointing out as it's happening, price coming into these areas of interest on the channels, and of course, check out my video as well. On the oscillator, mate. Right. Sorry, I was looking at the channel, mate. I think we were looking at the channel. And obviously, for those of you not in the Discord, you can get in the Discord by signing up to Stonksy, so do get you 20% off. Link in the description, or hop over to the Stonksy website, and it is code BOT20, BOT20, in at checkout on the monthly plan to take that down 20% for your first month and come and give it a go. And you do get access to everything on that. The indicator, oscillator, Discord server, and the trading bots, which have just had a nice little strategy change, which again, if you want a full breakdown on that to see the actual performance of each bot, you can find that on here on the channel here. Went up yesterday, I think, or was it? No, it was Monday. So yeah, there you go. Go and check that out. Yeah, I think you were talking about that before, actually, wasn't you, mate? About the oscillator being.
I just realised actually that's exactly what we were talking about. Well,
yeah, you mentioned it before, didn't you?
Yeah, because I thought that's a good reason to go down. But yeah.
Yeah, we are dropping down on Bitcoin now. We are continuing its descent after selling off just after lunchtime. So you mentioned 104k, didn't you, mate, at the start of the stream? It's slowly moving towards there. I
did. The only reason I mentioned that was it was one of the Block Pro levels.
Right, yeah.
That he
the
had.
Magician.
You what? Sorry.
The Magician.
Indeed. Although he was a bit technically challenged last night when he did his show.
Ah, right.
He sort of like got all ready and then nothing worked.
Wow, what a shame.
So it was like, for technical reasons, we will postpone it and cancel the event.
He loves it, doesn't he?
Well, yes.
What a legend. What a legend. Yeah, I think we'll leave the stream there. So obviously, big thank you to everyone that joined. Please do drop a like if you haven't. Subscribe. For those of you watching on X, make sure you follow the Stonksy page and hop over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. And of course, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you click those links in the description. Sign up to BLOFIN. Sign up to Stonksy with the discount. And I'll catch you back tomorrow for another stream. Save will next be on Wednesday, but obviously go and show him some love on his channel, on his videos. And yeah, any leaving messages, mate?
No, just thanks very much for having me, and see you soon. And above all, tell your friends.
Tell your friends. That's it. Bye for now.